It's Scott here with Daily Game Design. I'm pretty excited that it looks like the changes, the tweaks we're trying with Sugar Shack are actually working. The game is, I think, functioning pretty well. There are a couple things that I feel like I forget, which is partly a gamer problem on my level, but it's also a good test um, because I feel like I have those kind of challenges, and if I'm having the challenges, then it means a lot of other people are likely to have those same challenges. So, yeah, hoping for a steady stream today. Just can never tell. Anyway, welcome. Hope you're enjoying a productive Thursday. My parents are off playing pickleball. I'm actually hoping to get back to sports eventually, but anyway, partnering with Dr. Google Gemini, I can see like I have a lot of progress to be made in healing and not cracking so much. So like today, this is the most stable, and even though I'm still uncomfortable, it's the most comfortable I've been in many years. It doesn't mean I won't relapse and just kind of go back into cracking and figuring out how to get comfortable, but some of those strategies that I got from Google Gemini and then the encouragement to just stick with it, like that's really helpful. In fact, I was going to ask it when I was playing pickleball or any type of sport that involves swinging with my right arm. Um, it made me want to hold my arm behind my left arm behind my back and kind of um, poke out my shoulder blade. And I wonder if it has an explanation for why that would be slightly more comfortable. Okay, so here's Sugar Shack. As we look around, um, the play area, I think this still feels very busy and perhaps too busy. I don't see any way around that right now. Here are the final tweaks I've made, and I'm going to play through and see how it goes. So I have six mayor cards, and those cards correspond to the 6 buildings that are on the edge here. So these 3 are not going to get covered. Oh, this is something else I wanted to remember to do. So I actually I'm not going to test them today, but I actually updated my, would it be this one? I updated the 2 other community projects cards that 3 other community projects cards I'd made previously. And that's before I made all of these sweeping changes to, like how trophies work, rather than being like the end of the game. Now you just accumulate them. Like before that huge change, I had some of these ideas. And I'll download them and add them to the mod, because I think there's actually potential in these now to come in and change up gameplay. Because I was a little bit sad that because I reduced the number of cards, that there's not really the variability anymore. I think town is fairly static. And because of that, I feel like I wanted something about the board state, something about the board itself, the play area, the town, to be variable. And I think this is one way to do it. So I'll add these cards and then I'll get started with a playtest. A question about the phrase I was thinking about again. I think I used it yesterday. Is it the valley of decision or the valley of indecision? It must be decision. But for some reason, indecision sounds right, and I don't know why. Okay, so I think that's good. So what I can do is just kind of copy this guy and change it out. Okay, so these were already here, so I'll add the garden. And I'll explain these too. So now I have these 4 community projects cards that they all ask players to interact with the community projects differently. And they're all focused on giving trophies primarily. That's their purpose. But here I'll talk through how each of these work, and I'm gonna play test with the regular one, like the one that was standard at first. But here they are. So this is a community garden. That's the concept. And who knows why you're dumping syrup into the community garden, but you are. And what this is telling you is that for one worker, and I think that's what's cool about this, is it's really cheap. It's for one worker and 1 cube. You can only place 1 cube at a time. You can start to populate this community, this garden with cubes, with your own cubes. Oh, you know what? Suddenly I realized this one's not going to work. Because how would you know which are your cubes and which are the other player's cubes? So never mind. Okay, this one does work, however. This one is almost the same in the way it works as the current community project. But here you each have your own placements, but the price of the placement, like the cost, changes by the round. So what it says, the first round, it costs 7 to place a cube, and you would place it in space 1. And if you decided to sacrifice your engine building in round 1, you could get a lot of work done in the community projects and accumulate a decent number of trophies, up to 3. Because it is a race. It's a race to get to that third one. You can see that that third trophy is actually shared. So it's an actual competition to get to that third space. And I think that could be interesting because it offers players the problem of, do you want to invest in your engine early on, or do you want to take advantage of the cheap trophies? I think that's a cool problem. Okay, now here's another type of problem. What this is asking players to do is essentially to sacrifice, this sounds weird, but to sacrifice their meeples. So what they would do is on their turn, they can place 1 worker on any of these slots. And once they and they get the benefit, or they pay the cost of that placement. So the first 2 will get you $2. Like if the top 2 give you 2 money, and then there are 4 you can see that are kind of a U shape. Those let you fill the green space on your sugar shack, and then the remaining 4, those cost the money to do it. And so when you have placed 3 of your workers, you gain a trophy. Whenever you place a worker, you also add an extra worker from the pool, um, from your worker pool for the next round. You gain an extra worker. However, what this also means is that you're permanently losing that worker from your pool at large. So, or in general. So if you were to take actions that gain you extra workers, let's say you've committed 4 workers over here. Well, the total pool is 6 workers. So at most, well, if right now actually there are only 9. I'm thinking to do 9. Did I say 9 workers? No, I have 10. I do have 10 here. But what I'm thinking, well, yeah, okay. So let's assume 10. So let's say that you place so many workers that you get 2 trophies. It's 3 workers for a trophy. So you have to place 6 workers here in order to gain a trophy. Well, that means that you could only ever have at most 4 workers for a round. So even if you, let's say you gain the bottom left grant, or this would be useless to you because there are no extra workers to draw from. So it's asking you to give up workers that could, let's say you drop a bunch here at the gift shop and you fill up the gift shop. Well, you might not have enough workers to actually gain that. For instance, to gain the second extra worker. Maybe you'd only have 5 workers total, so you could gain the extra worker. But you don't have 6 available because you've been committing them to community projects. So I think that's a kind of interesting problem as well. Maybe it's not that interesting, but it's another way. It's another thing to care about. You're losing a worker. You're placing it as an investment in trophies, but eventually toward the end of the game you might want those workers back, but too bad they're busy with community projects. Okay, so this is, like I said, this is not going to work. I need to find a way, because I don't mind this, but this doesn't look as cool in a community garden like this space, the shared space. But anyway, before I start, I'll just stack these and have these off to the side. Okay. Yeah, so I'll start this playtest. I'm actually feeling better and better about this one. Let me save it. Just for self playtests, I realize one thing I need to do is just remember whose turn it is. I'm also having them start with the same number of cubes because I want the first few turns to feel meaningful. Like if red only has 1 cube, there aren't many options for them. But anyway, let's start with red again. I'm sitting on the bed again. I'm going to move it up. Okay. Oh, money. Let's start with 3 money too. And trophies. Yeah, I can see the argument for actually having like coins, but the track is good for TTS. It's really small, so maybe not perfect, but at least they're regular increments. So like I know where 10 is. Like to spend 10 money is pretty clear. Can I do that? Oops. I think I also like how this is working. This lines up better. I think I had the card sizing wrong before. Okay, I'll overwrite and save this. So I'm basically preparing to either submit this to the Cardboard Edison Award thing or contest, or resubmit to AEG. I really don't like how overwhelming this is, to be honest. But like, I liked the idea of the town waking up, but I don't really want I don't want to build a system that players have to remember. Like, it's just a temporary thing they have to understand and remember to do. I'm okay having eliminated that. It just means that these early turns might feel a little overwhelming. Because it looks like there are a lot of options. Okay. Okay, so red has 2 cubes. They are going to want to fill. Let's have red. You know what? What if we have red just go and get 2 income? Place here. And start gaining this 1 income basically right away. So that's red's move. Blue can go here. It's probably better to start making progress with the town hall, but red is hoping for a long-term investment to pay off. Now let's have red jump down here and refill. What if we make red pay every time they would refill, just to see how that goes? See if that's actually useful to have 1 more cube coming in than blue. And let's have blue generally not pay. Oh, see, I already forgot. So this needs to be, this will be here on the gift shop. Okay, so red is actually responding to this incentive right here. So that's actually not bad. Let's go for big money here. And so blue is all about going to fill cubes at the town hall. So okay, and that's actually good. So that's 8 money. So blue is going pretty hard with money. What can red do? See, red still... So red has no money. So red... Does red just retrieve here? So there's still nothing to do if they have no money. and they have an extra worker. I think they just retrieve, and that's too bad. So 1, 2. They have no extra worker, but they do gain a buck here. And then this comes over. This should have come over first. Okay. Now blue will retrieve. These come over. Okay, red's turn. Should red just dump all their cubes? Yeah, it's like, where do you go with workers if you have no money and you have no cubes? What do your workers do? Well, nothing. But should we call that mismanagement and just let the game punish people for that? Maybe. I'm not sure I love that idea. Oh, well, red doesn't have to spend. Let's have red send 2 cubes up here. So at least they're getting the income. Okay, and then they can do something with that 1 later. Well, blue can go for an upgrade right away. So at the same time, there's no rush. So what could blue block? They think red wants. So I think let's just go. Blue's probably not going to go here, but I mean red is. Ooh, no, 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 no. No, blue's thinking they actually need to refill. So we'll do 2 here. All right. Now it's red. So red can come up here. Oh, wait. No, because red also needs more cubes. So red is actually going to go here. Drop a cube up there. And gain 3 money. Okay. So now blue can just go for the upgrade. And let's say... blue spends 10, just goes for the big upgrade of worker, the staff right away. It's going to add the 4th here. Oh, that took 2 workers. So now red... now red is going to refill here. And red has the money to do it, so should red do it? Let's just say they always refill when they always fill up to 3 when they can. Okay, now blue recalls. So this is great because now they're out of step, right? Like they've switched. So we have blue recalling first, and then and has all these meeples now. It's 4 meeples. So blue's recalling first. Now red recalls, and red is going to recall here. And we just need to remember to give red the 2 money for their income. Okay. Now what's blue going to do with all... Wait. What have I done? Should these be here? Need to remember that recalling needs these to move over. Okay, so blue has lots of cubes now. Let's have blue go in here because the round is kind of running. Yeah, so that's a nice block here. Red has 3. So red can actually come here, ditch 2 cubes, and get this first card because they meet this condition and they gain $8. So they're at 11. Okay, a new mayor card comes out and covers the hardware store. Okay, so suddenly there's an incentive. Well, let's have blue go here to refill. Okay, now it's up to red. Red has 1 cube left. Let's say red refills. 1, 2. And blue is going to get paid out the $5. So we'll be at 9. Okay, so the warehouse paid out. There was nothing in the gift shop. This flips, and then we refill with 10. Okay, so red refilled. That's what happened there. Now it's back to blue. So blue can place right here. And what's nice is that the timing at least gives them At least it's $9, so it's not great. Because it might be nice to fill the whole thing for one action, but okay. Now it's red. They have one. Just come in and fill for a trophy now. Wait. They need to. They were gonna fill with 1, 2, 3. So they're always filling. So they're always getting more cubes. Where did this go? So here, let's just give them that trophy and just call it done. So first trophy. Now blue is gonna recall. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, blue is poised here. They have no income, and they need to get cubes. They need to remember to do that. So red is going to recall now. 1, 2, and 3. They have no guys to move over, but they do have 3 cubes. So now, and they also gain this income of 2 from Syrup Inc. Okay. So we're back to blue. Blue now is capable of doing this. But do they want to open it for red to upgrade? Might as well. That's okay. So 1, 2, to gain this, and this is going to sit in their player area. Another card comes out. This covers the grant office. Okay, so they have 1. Oh, they both have 1 mayor card. I said. Is there really that little? Is it pronounced with that little U on the end? Ohayo gozaimasu. Is it like that? Welcome. I'm very much appreciating the flow of these more recent changes, by the way. Are you just at work right now? Okay, so blue takes that card and now could be making a lot of spelled the U, whether you pronounce it. Not depends on much. Oh, okay. Fair enough. One thing I noticed in what your brother sent over that I thought was pretty cool. I mean, for the mystery dinner theater, was that a reward was a nicer dessert. I thought that was a fun idea. Oh, okay. Is it like a it's like, okay, so it's situational. So is it one of those little kind of respect tags? I only really know that from Korean a lot, like a formality thing. Familiarity, gender, class, station, yeah. Got ya. Who is okay? So blue, I think it's red's turn. Now red. What is red up to? Red finally, I think red will go for an upgrade. Which one? I think red is focusing on production. So let's have red spend 6. Okay. Now blue. So blue would have gone for an upgrade, but cannot now, and also doesn't have any cubes. So this is the first thing that we can do is have blue fill over here. Red. With only one worker, let's say red goes for a warehouse. So blue could force it. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I think there still might need to be a way, because if I retrieve right now for blue, that feels a little bit sad. Like there are 2 unused workers. I don't know. I'm just going to do it. So retrieve, no income, but we do get these 2 cubes over here. Red needs to retrieve. And they didn't get cubes, but they have to because they've been focused on production, which is kind of nice. So blue, what is blue up to? So blue can go for an upgrade now. Let's say blue. At this point, blue is kind of hurting for cubes. So maybe they also do this production. So they spend 6. Okay, red. Let's say red refills. And they're going to take all 4. Spending their 3. By the way, with these 2 upgrades, then so red spent money and now has trouble. Is there a way? Oh. Okay, so let's say red comes here. Oh, but then they won't have the cubes they need. That's okay. Finally fixed the fly problem in our apartment I taped. Oh, the excess hatches in the sea. And now we are fly free. Oh, with the fruit flies. Was it the fruit flies? Or was it like house flies? Red's gonna have a ton of cubes here in a second. So instead, red needs to get this money. 1, 2, 3. Send a cube up here. Oh, you know what? How about this instead? So let me roll, actually. I don't know. You think they were fruit flies? I don't think they were behaving like fruit flies, but we never had. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. Okay, 6 instead. 1, 2, 3. So now red is poised here, and they used all their workers, so they feel good about recalling next. They were approximately that size. Yeah, I think mine were fruit flies. In fact, I saw that they had eggs around the lid of my trash bucket, and actually I found a way to kind of wash them out. They had a lot of those hard little brown eggs laid inside of the lid, and so I like scraped them out, washed them down the drain. Hopefully, won't see them again. Let's see, what's blue up to? That was red. Blue could start working on an income. You know what though? Blue needs to come in here and get cubes. Ah, okay, so the timing is good. So red's gonna recall. And now blue is gonna come in here, and this is great timing, and just get this little bit of income. Losing my mind, we're cleaning. Okay. That's never fun. You know, one thing, kind of speaking of cleaning, my parents being here, they actually really helped out with a couple of projects that I have been meaning to kind of deal with, but just didn't have the kind of mental capacity right now to do. One of those things was they got two by fours. My dad went shopping at Home Depot, got two by fours and a saw and a little what is that called? Like the a holder or a guide for the saw, a little tape measure, and so we cut boards to support my shelving. My shelves, there's a ton of space, but they were sagging, so I was a little nervous to overload them with especially a lot of my games, and then of course other heavier boxes and stuff. So all we did was have to cut the boards to length and wedge them underneath because the shelves were sagging anyway, so there's already like natural pressure on those boards. So we didn't have to use screws or nails or anything. So they're just rough cut. They're in there now. And then my mom went through and reorganized and moved everything, and it's amazing. The other thing I've been waiting on was getting a new toilet paper holder. Because mine broke like right when I moved in here, and I didn't really have the frame of mind to like go get the Allen wrenches I needed and figure out how to unscrew things. And it would just be I just had the feeling it would turn into like a 2-hour project that should only take 15 minutes. So I just kind of dreaded working on it. Anyway, my parents jumped in and worked on those things. It was pretty awesome. Okay, so blue went to the warehouse. Now I think red is ready. Did you lose track of anything? When someone takes out and replaces everything, I feel like I lose track of where things live. Well, not really. I think I don't really access a lot in those in that closet space. I mean we talked about where things would go, like where I'm used to them being, so I think it won't be a problem. Mostly it's just nice to see all my games stacked in there. I mean all the ones I have here at the apartment. And then I think I'll just be able to rummage a little bit if I have trouble. It honestly, a lot of it is mostly storage for things I don't really need to see a lot. So in that way, it's working pretty good. Okay, so wait, did Red recall? Oh, let's just act like Red did. I don't know, because this is full. For sure, Blue will recall. Barrels I feel like are not very useful or attractive right now, so there's not a great reason. Okay, so it's back to red. Now red can go in here, take this guy, pay 5. What is that? 7. And then and discard 2 cubes. Oh, if red recalled, red needs 2 extra bucks from right here. Okay, so currently red is at 1, 2, 3 trophies, which feels about right. We're a little more than halfway through the game. Another card needs to come out. Farland Fuel. So this covers this. Okay, so this is a free upgrade. They're both prepared. Actually, red can do it almost. Well, who's gonna do this first? Next is the question. Okay, so blue has the money for it. So blue is going to go for all 3 upgrades. So there's a reason to do all 3 upgrades because you get another trophy. So maybe that's... So that's good, even if people aren't going for the barrels right away. And that costs 8. So... and that's another trophy. So blue has no reason to get this except to deny red, which could be kind of funny. This is also a case, let me think. So blue might want to rush recalling just to get a barrel in here before red. Let me see what happens. What can I do? So red might be interested. Red needs money. So red could go here. No, I think red's going to end it. So red's going to fill. And pay the 3 to completely fill. Okay, these get paid out. And these actually go up to... These go up to the town hall. So blue is ready for a grant now if they want. But both get 5. What is this? 4, so 9. Okay. And what is this? I think it's 12 for the barrel. Okay. This is going to flip and get refilled with 12. Oh, interesting. So this is the first time that I can see I've come up short on cubes. Oops. That. So this is like a hint at like what number of cubes would we need in the box, right? Oops. These are here. Okay, so this is the last round of the game. And where am I? So red just went here. And it was partly to get, yes, so to keep blue from getting barrels and getting a huge payout. But now blue may be interested. Oh, blue can do an upgrade here. So I think it's time, because it's so late in the game. I think blue is going to go for the discounts on the community projects. Okay, now it's red. Okay, so this all gets spent. This is still available, so red probably wants to get in here. Oh, wait, red can do that right now. Oh no, red needs to recall or recover. Red should do something. Okay, we'll have red go here and get 3. And fill. So red can also get an upgrade. Okay, so let's do, well, blue needs to recover first. 1, 2. It's interesting that even though blue went early for the 4 meeples, red is still competitive right now. Okay, red needs to recall. Red is going to get their income. Blue is still not getting, make sure that these go here first. So it's nice that red could use a cube before this completely filled. Oh, interesting. So red could also come up here and just fill the gift shop. Oh, this should be emptied. They get their income too, so up to 11. Now, what can blue do? Wait, these need to come over here. So blue might prioritize getting money right now. So that's why this. Oh, but the barrel's not going to pay out. No, I think blue is just going to go here. So blue can get decent money just by working with the closer B market, actually. So that was blue. Red has a kind of interesting choice, potentially. No, red is going to go for the trophy over here. So just make sure that happens, and they lose these 3. They have what they need in the town hall, so they'll gain this. So they actually have a barrel available, and they have the free upgrade. So we'll see what makes sense for them here in a second. I think red's in a pretty good position here. So blue is going to go ahead with the first community project because they get a discount of 2. This is also the first extra worker. Let's see. So discount of 2, so we'll go down to 1. Gain an extra worker and a trophy. So let me do a quick trophy inventory. So here's 1, 2, and 3. Where's 4 coming from? Oh no, they have all 3 upgrades, so that's where 4 is coming from. And let me do a quick check for red. So red has 1, 2, 3, and then 4 because they have 1 upgrade. And they're going to get another free upgrade here. So yeah, red is pretty well positioned. Okay, so that was the community project. So now it's red. Red could get an upgrade. And what does red? You know what? Red's having a great time with production. So they'll just go with this one and just always fill this for free. And since they're ahead, they wanna fill this, and it'd be nice to do it for free. So let's see how that works out. Okay, so that was red. Blue. Ooh, actually blue could go here. Spend a cube, it goes here. No, actually blue is going to go and spend it and send it over here instead. So they roll. Okay, so blue actually earns 12 money, which is pretty awesome because it's 8 plus 4. So they use the flapjack house for that. Now red's going to recall. Okay, blue is also going to recall. So first step is to refill here. Second step is to move this guy in here. Oh, red needs $2 because they recalled. Don't forget that. No cubes here. And no income. Oh, shoot. See, I forgot this again. This covers the warehouse. That's a discounted upgrade, and it's round 3, so you need 18 or more money to gain that. Yeah, so... Oh, they're both kind of close, actually. But it costs 3 cubes, so that's going to be tough. Should red jump in and take this trophy? Probably should, right? So it's going to cost red a lot. It's going to cost 12. So they're going to drop down here. But at least they block and gain a trophy. So they're up to 5. What's blue going to do with all these meeples? So first thing is blue will take these cubes. Let's do that. Oh, red actually. I think red was... Oh, these are gone. Need to remember some of these steps. So red will fill this and fill green for free. Yeah, barrels were not really useful. So red went there, so it's blue. Sometimes it's weird with Discord because I can't tell where these notifications are coming from. Okay. The game is definitely coming to an end shortly. Where was I? So blue, is red doing anything? I think blue just went here. Yeah, the sound's turned off for most of my servers. Yeah. Oh, that's smart. Like just like that's just notifications. Like you just silence notifications for everything. Did blue come here or did red? I think red just went, so it's blue's turn. With 1 cube, what to do with 1 cube? I think just go big on money right now. So this is a roll for, okay, so it's a 3, so it's 10 money. So let's jump up here. So they could do it again and get a trophy for having more than 30 money. That could be kind of interesting. So red's gonna recall. So they get their income of $2. These come down. Their big influx of bottled syrup. Oh wait, red only has 1 upgrade? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is 5. Okay. Yeah, so I think red could pull away here. Now that I'm looking at it. But that was red's thing. Blue can now... blue has no cubes. So what can blue do? Hmm. Red can get the free upgrade, so they're probably going to do that this time. And they have a barrel. What would they do with the barrel? I kind of feel like there need to be other uses for barrels because, well, especially with the warehouse out, it doesn't matter. And then money at the end is not that important. So the barrel just comes into play here if you want big money. But that would just be, I mean, money at the very end of the game isn't great, but here you could at least go up here if you're fighting for community projects. Blue could do a community project right now, I guess. And kind of gear up for a big... Oh, don't have cubes. So do I waste? Do I go here and spend 2 for a cube right now? Why not, I guess? I can try that. I haven't done that at all this game. Now it's to red. Red might as well go for the upgrade, so they're going to get another trophy. So red will go for this upgrade because it's the most expensive and it's free. So this gets used. So blue at least can get some money, and then they'll gain 7. So it's up to 18. 28. So this cube is going to go down here. All right, now red. What can red do with all these cubes? Red can't go here, so I think red just recalls. Could go here for an extra cube. Oh, no, of course, red goes here. And oh, this is kind of a mistake. Well, they're rushing, right? They're rushing the end because they're up by 1 trophy. Because now when they recall, they're gonna burn a bunch of cubes. So that was probably a kind of mistake, but let's see. So blue definitely recalls. This guy's gone. These come over. So what I'm doing right now is playing until everybody's Sugar Shack and garage is empty, which might be a huge mistake because well, red's gonna recall, but they're still gonna have 6. They're still gonna have 6 cubes to work with. And they finally get their 4th worker. And because they have an upgrade, they have 2 upgrades now, so they actually get this 6th trophy. I think red has won the last 2 games I've played. They also get 2 money. Yeah, I don't think blue can. Oh, actually, wait a minute. So blue can definitely do this, but they have to burn all their cubes to do it. Is it worth? Oh, is it worth it? I kind of don't think anything is worth it at this point because there's just no way they can make up that number of trophies with the cubes they have. Yeah, I think the ending of the game is still kind of awkward. So at least they get this. It's another trophy. And then this comes out. So that's cool to see all 6 mayor cards. That's actually kind of cool. But yeah, red's going to run away at this point. Well, I think maybe an ending. So it's not perfect, but so blue is out of cubes in their garage and in their Sugar Shack. And they've had the same number of turns. So even though red has all that stuff, maybe the game is just over. And red wins by 1 trophy. So that was tight. And that took, I basically started playing that took like 45 minutes, 50 minutes, which is about the length that I would imagine for this mini Euro. I think that's actually not bad. And in general, the game is so much smoother than it was. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I also tried different stuff with both players this time. Like with red, I always filled. So I spent the money, even though wait a second. Wait a second. Let me back up. I think I just figured out something different for blue. So blue had these 3 cubes. Let me just do this. Wait, did red recall? Should these already be over here? And so I don't know what's going on. It's hard to get. So they gain those 2, and then they gain, how many did I just? I think I burned 3. So they're at 3. So they do have enough for the final upgrade. Well, let me just see if I can get a couple of trophies for blue. And I think I might be able to. But not before red. So red is definitely going to win, but I think I might be able to do it for blue. So the first thing is they gain a cube and spend how much? 2 money. Okay, now red would go. Red's going to finish the game just like this. And they spend their 8. They spend 8 money. And then this gets upgraded and flips. Okay. Okay, now red. Oh yeah, okay. So red can go up here and gain at least 10 money. So this is going to go down here, and actually they earn 12 money. So they do get a temporary trophy for that. Red is already out. They already have their 7 trophies, so they technically won. Because I think I still like the idea, like if you ever earn 7 trophies, then the game should be over. But maybe not. Maybe not. Let me finish this out. Because now there are so many trophies everywhere, but this is the very end of the game, so this is actually nice that it's come down to this. So now blue can come in here. Wait, what was red gonna do? What can red do to earn some money? Oh, you know what red does? Red actually comes in here, fills this up. Oops. So red actually did get 8 trophies in the end, because they had just enough cubes to fill all 6 of these. And they get a bunch of money. They get 9 money. Wow, that's kind of intense. Anyway, so red definitely dominated, but it was kind of nice to realize that I could actually get a 7th trophy with blue. So blue then comes over here, and I got it using Syrup Ink, which was nice. Like, yeah, okay. So then they gain this, and they get their 7th trophy, but red still ends with 8. Okay, so that was it. That was Sugar Shack. Was there any real friction? No, and I feel like I tried very, very different ideas between the two players, and also be from like different from what I've done in the past too. They each got one of these community projects. Those were fine choices, I feel. Blue just never got it together to go and get another trophy up here. I overall feel like the pacing was quite good. Like I like that it's a longer round for 1 and 3 and a shorter round for 2. I mean, it's not necessarily longer or shorter, but there are fewer cubes available during 2, which makes it you kind of fly through that, especially if the players have gotten upgraded, have upgraded their sugar shacks, and then to have a slightly more involved round 3, I think is great, because that's when you really want to accomplish stuff, and you don't want the game to end too quickly, but you're still like feeling great about packing your sugar shack full and then making some big moves. Like this is actually cool for red right at the end to have 6 cubes and then to be able to fill the whole gift shop and gain that 8th. I think was kind of neat. And then using the flapjack house rather than focusing on getting another upgrade, I think was kind of cool. Or rather than using, what's kind of interesting is I didn't use the extra workers that much. And so and that's totally fine. I don't think they should be as common as they were. I think I was getting them a lot in previous iterations, but I like that they're not as necessary this time, or in this current iteration. They don't seem to come up as often, and that seemed fine. It was more the problem of, oh shoot, I have no cubes and I have no money, so I'm wasting a worker. That was more the issue than like, oh, I don't feel like I have enough workers. There are plenty of places to place workers, and the only thing you might want an extra worker for is bigger money, or forcing. I don't remember doing this once, so I'm not sure if that might be a redundant. Maybe it's not a real choice. Maybe it's that's maybe if you have a ton of workers, that's when you would rush the sugar shack, like the evaporator. So that's okay. Anyway, I feel good about that. Every time I make changes, I feel like, oh, that's pretty good, and then I just never. Now I need other people to play it and see what they think. But overall, it's a lot smoother. It feels less procedural. There will be times when I think retrieving will feel slightly like irritating, just because you need to remember, like, don't forget your income, don't forget to move over your cubes. But doing that on your own time rather than waiting for your opponent to run out of their workers and we always check first player. I love not checking first player. I think this is great. I think it's really cool that first player that doesn't really exist anymore, but the players kind of weave in and out or kind of work around each other and might recall, because something they really want is blocked right now, because when the other player recalls, now they're ready to pounce on that space. I think that's really, really cool. I think the rolling nature of the worker placement is really cool. So I think eliminating the minor rounds, like the small rounds, is really, really a massive improvement. Even though I felt like for a second, I was feeling that losing the first player change was a real loss, but it's not. This is way better. So I also like that Syrup Ink was always available. I think it's also kind of interesting that red got the income and like went for the trophy and everything, and blue ignored it. That kind of worked. It was fine. I'm not actually sure where red's edge came from. except that they got more mayor cards. This might have been something to invest in for blue, but I think it worked fine. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really see a problem here. The only thing I feel is slightly unanswered is, what do you do with extra workers? Right? When you don't have any cubes, and even though you could place a worker on the sugar shack to force the cubes over, you're gonna need to recall the next turn anyway, so you really do have a redundant worker. There's really nothing meaningful for that worker to do. And at this point, I took away the free action for workers. Like, you could turn in a worker for $1 or whatever. But maybe now you just, yeah, it was kind of unread that they spent all their money and they couldn't use their extra worker to have a stronger round next round or anything. But anyway, overall, I think the game is flowing pretty well. I like that. I don't know. The graphic design is still busy, but it's still really busy. But I think it's more functional now. It's more functional with these worker placements actually shown. So you're not covering anything important when you place your worker on the card. That's nice. Yeah, so I think this is all working pretty well. Yep, now it's time to update the print file and then actually craft the material, the physical prototype. So our next game design meetup is on the 18th, and I'll for sure have a copy ready to go by then. I'm really excited about this. I'm pretty proud of it. It's been now like a year and 2 months since I first started this design. I think that's pretty insane. I've had a bunch of in-person playtests. I've had some online playtests. It's really crazy. Like, one of the common things I'll see on Facebook and some of the big design groups is somebody who feels like their design is more stable just because it's older. Of course, that's not true, but it is interesting when they use they use it. Oh, I've been working on this design for like 2 years, and then I feel like they kind of use it as a way to stake out some credibility. But it does it. Time in this case, I mean, I'm almost kind of disappointed it took this long to bring the game to where it is. You know, it took flashes of insight. It took feedback from playtesters. It took experimentation. It did absolutely took time. But would I use the fact that it's over a year old as evidence that it's a better game? I don't think so. No, of course not by itself. But I've been actively working on it for that amount of time. So of course, balancing it with working on especially the Adra game. But man, I really love the form it's in, because let's see, at this point, let's assume that there's a player rate for both players. So it's 6 instead of 7, which I think was a great tweak. It's a small thing, but I think it's a big deal. Actually, I changed 2 of the mayor cards. I took away the trophy requirement. I think that was also the right call, because that was the rich getting richer. But okay, so it's 6 mayor cards. I like how simple this was. Just when one goes away, bring out a new one. It wasn't super hard for me to remember. I did forget a couple times. Let's say that these 2 community projects would I would include these. The community, the garden, I don't know if that would work. Hey, Francisco. I'm just wrapping up, but thanks for jumping in. Or I'm kind of describing where I think like the state of the game is here. I just play tested. I think the playtest was really strong based on the changes, the little tweaks I made since yesterday. Actually the two meaningful tweaks were they came from the mayor cards. And so so there are 6 mayor cards, potentially 2 more community projects for variability. Actually I can just reset. Let's go here. Okay. So there are, let me just delete this because this is not functional right now. And I'll save that. I think I found I needed 2 more cubes as well. I'm just going to do a full inventory here of what this, like the components would be. Okay. And assuming that we're using trackers and not coins. All right. So there are 6 mayor cards, 3 community project cards, and then that leaves 8 town cards. So as 9, so 17 cards at this point. Wait, no, that's wrong. So it's 6 plus 3 plus 8, actually. So it is 17. And then 6, 7, 8. So 25, 26 plus 2 player aids, 27 cards, 20 meeples. And how many is this? This is 4 by 5, so 20, 32, 36, 38 cubes. 38, what are these? 16 millimeter cubes or whatever. And then 6. Okay, so we're at 27 cards. Is that right? 27 cards, including player aids. 38 cubes, so like 15 or 16 millimeter cubes. 20 meeples, and then 6 smaller, maybe 8 millimeter cubes. I think that's a great small box game. And and it's really working right now, as it has the Euro feel, I believe. I think the engine building is cool and variable. You know what? Actually, the one thing that's probably still a weakness is the barrels. I wonder if somebody starts with the barrel upgrade. Don't know if you counted the die or not. I did not. Thank you. Yes, need the die. 25 cards. Oh, this can be gone. 27 cards. 38 16 millimeter cubes. 20 meeples. 6 8 millimeter cubes, and 1 d6. And a rule book. Yeah, very cool. And I'm okay right now if we do have variability, like replayability, a replayability question, if the community projects are different. I think that's a good start at replayability, because these really would make you care about different things. The timing in particular for the community project here, it adds a different type of tension. And ooh, this community project would not work with this grant office. I need to think about that. Yeah, that's okay. Anyway, I think that's it for me. I'm going to wait for my, let's see, does it ship with a helpful designer to play with you, or do you have to order that separately? That'd be very separate. It'd be a super separate thing to order. But I like it. The rule book would have to be so good for this thing. Because I do wonder, like, even as you kind of listen, right? Yeah, that would be an exciting. You know what? Because they do sometimes, like in the Kickstarters, like they offer crazy, um, like super pricey add-ons or whatever they're called. What are those called? Kickstarter exclusive add-on. It's a visit from the designer or a trip to New Zealand for whatever. Fly out and play with us. Yeah, that'd be insane and so cool. Um, I like that Syrup Inc. is back and that it's more diverse. Yeah, I think this is quite good. Much easier to teach the game and learn from the rules. Yeah, yeah. That's the whole problem I ran into with Adra. The rule book was not helping people, and we were way too early to unguided playtesting. Way too early, I guess. At least one or two iterations of the rule book for sure. And maybe the game and the theming of the game. Yeah, when I'm teaching, I routinely forget one or two important rules. No, that's only like heavier games, of course, games I'm less familiar with. But certainly if I'm like scanning the rule book and we're having to learn on the fly, I always will miss something important. So in that case, just reading through the rule book would have been a better choice. Okay, I've got some work to do for my online class, which starts on Monday. So I'm going to head out, but thanks for hanging out, guys. And thanks for being a witness. Thanks for input and discussion. It's always cool. Hope you guys have a productive day. I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.